Continuing the episode-by-episode ratings and reviews of Steve Pemberton and Reece Shearsmith's dark, comical, dramatic, horrific, soon-ending BBC anthology Inside No.9, this video explores series 4 to 6 of said show, generally avoiding but occasionally including light spoilers, so No.9 newcomers are advised to proceed with caution or to avoid watching. I'd rather you proceeded with caution. The watch time is desperately needed though, so I am biased. These reviews begin with a welcome to Zanzibar. I don't believe you stayed with us before, though I do believe that certain viewers after this will likely long for more. If there's one thing this hotel-based comedy makes clear, then it's Pemberton and Shearsmith's understanding of Shakespeare. The actors they've cast here are anything but amateur, and the script is constructed in iambic pentameter. Unlike this review, which couldn't even maintain a more basic rhyming structure. I tried. I used passion, I used effort, and now it's all wasted. I find my love's labour's lost. In this Series 4 debut, Steve Pemberton and Reece Shearsmith, the two noble kinsmen, fondly and observantly experiment with typical Shakespearean tropes, such as long-lost twins, pleasingly interactive audience acknowledgement, and elderly women urinating. Not so much the last one. Add in an understandable modern quality, an original plot, discernible characters played by a wisely chosen cast, and a jovially joyous energy, thereby creating a comedy of errors in which all's well that ends well. Appreciated traces of underlying trademark No.9 darkness allow the title to be judged alongside the writer's previous works. Measure for measure, if you will. Any fans of this episode will know that despite this high praise, I am not making much ado about nothing, as you like it as well. Brief moments of slight tonal inconsistency unfold, but these are very rare and borderline unnoticeable. Fans of Shakespeare, Inside No.9, or controlled semi-absurd ensemble comedies are advised to watch, or rewatch, this episode. Ideally around June the 24th. Ideally at night time, you will find yourself living the dream. A Midsummer Night's Dream, if you will. Ooh, that was forced. Julius Caesar. Okay, now I've mentioned 9 Shakespeare plays, I can move on to the next episode, which is Bernie Clifton's Dressing Room, in which, after decades of estrangement, a former comedy double act reunite. The following exchanges are imbued with exceedingly genuine, relatably raw, emotional performances, attentive characterization, enriching humour, a clear sense of history between characters, and universal, deeply moving themes gracefully, fully explored. One slight issue is that one character, who's established as being unaware of certain modern views or recent pop culture, is apparently aware of current and upcoming show business scandals that the generally more knowing character isn't. This potentially serves as foreshadowing, though even this explanation is a dubious one. Such a minute and fleeting detail, however, leaves no negative impact on this touching and widely recommended episode. Once removed, fatally stressful incidents ensue in the process of a house move. The rampant tension, comic energy, and surprisingly layered characterization is enhanced by an intelligent reverse chronology story structure. Slightly over-convenient plot moments serve as the only faint issues of this episode, and even these are rare and ultimately minor. To have and to hold, this picture of a strained and mundane marriage becomes increasingly blurred, underdeveloped, smudged. Can a photo be smudged? One of the characters is a photographer. That's what I was trying to reference there. Please imagine that I came up with a perfect and hilarious metaphor, then laugh, then continue to watch the video 5 hours later when you finished laughing. Okay, I've given you long enough. I'm not going to sit here for 5 hours. The episode provides expectedly strong performances and moments of subtle, enticingly uncomfortable comedy, though the midway major twist feels disagreeably sudden. The gradual suspense that the show typically excels at building being underused. Ultimately, though, the desired discomfort and shock is communicated and the ending is cathartic, so the episode is still worthwhile viewing. And the winner is. Writers, actors, critics, and other creatives vote to determine the winner of the Best Actress Award. Appropriately, given the episode's theme, the acting is of high quality, despite the legendary Dame Dottie's absence. I mean, Dame Dottie stole my heart. Additionally, successful moments of humour unfold, and the idea of a more relaxed episode is a promising one. Though certain bland characters and slightly less dependable, more repetitive comedy than usual hinder this ultimately entertaining, though slightly below typical Inside No.9 standard satire. Tempting fate. A trio of council employees make a magical discovery in a deceased hoarder's flat. A fascinating, concentrated, understandable, and enlightening examination of folklore and fairy tale tropes, seasoned with thorough characterization, wry comedy, constructive darkness, and a sense of relevant human interest, often found in the most timeless of fairy tales. As a lover of folklore, fairy tales, and mythology, and the modern versatility of these genres, this episode is perhaps my favourite in the entire show. I've slightly ruined the ranking at the end of the video there, haven't I? I can always cut that bit out. I didn't cut that bit out, did I? The only flaw is that a certain scene fails to fully deliver the intended impact. Though given every other scene fully delivers the intended impact, this is entirely forgivable. With Series 4 concluded, we shall continue with Deadline. A live televised performance is continuously and mysteriously interrupted in this consistently atmospheric, endlessly creative, comically self-aware Halloween special. Unfortunately, the effect is slightly less impactful outside of the original broadcast, and the story is slightly limited, though these elements seldom hinder the episode. With the Halloween special concluded, we shall begin Series 5 with the episode The Referees Are During an important football match, chaos is afoot. The episode explores a refreshingly grounded and subdued conflict while maintaining clear suspense, humorous interplay between talented actors, and intriguing twists, all of which resonated despite my enormous disinterest in football. Not caring about football is my only talent. I'm unsure of Reese's views on the so-called beautiful game, though casual research informs me that Steve is indeed a football fan. That's a shame. The idea of someone whose works I admire being interested in slightly different things to me is not a possibility I'm willing to acknowledge. Though generally digestible regardless of a given audience member's general opinions of football, some dialogue relies on an understanding of the sport which is far beyond my own. Not that that's hard. Anything more complicated than people kicking a ball is beyond my understanding of the sport. These moments are faintly alienating, though generally the episode achieves the opposite effect. So this is a minute and extremely personal issue. Death be not proud. Unusual events begin once a young couple moves into a new flat. The episode provides suitable performances and an initially engrossingly mysterious concept. Though, to discuss the issues, spoiler territory must be traversed upon. To avoid, skip to this time. The episode essentially serves as a secretive finale to Psychoville, Pemberton and Shearsmith's previous series. I know I called them Steve and Reese earlier, but I'm referring to them as their surnames again now because it felt over familiar. I'm not mates with them. However often they beg me to go to the pub. Well, they don't, but I can dream. And despite my love of Psychoville, this episode is underwhelming. The dark pantomime energy of characters such as David and Maureen Sowerbutts is distractingly mismatched with the more realistic approach the episode initially takes. Several moments attempt to create ultimately pointless shock value, and problematic pacing ensues. The fan service aspect is admirable, though ensuring that an episode of an anthology show, a show that introduces separate characters, situations, and locations per episode, is more enjoyable and understandable to viewers who've already watched 14 episodes of a completely different series, feels incredibly counterproductive to the genre. The inherent delight of being reacquainted with excellent characters from an excellent series is marred by the questionable execution of the tale that they are now inhabiting. Love's great adventure, a family's financial and festive hardships are shown in an episode imbued with authentic acting and a bold, understanding exploration of conceivable issues, lightened by agreeable humour and clear warmth. The episode, however, occasionally meanders slightly. Misdirection. A murderous magician meets a journalist in an impressively intense episode flavoured by whimsy, invested performances, and commendably intricate plotting, which are all slightly diminished by an unsatisfying, morally confused moment where a clearly unpleasant act is framed as being victorious, though this was potentially a deliberate creative choice. Thinking out loud, several characters record monologues. The invitingly minimalist approach and convincingly portrayed, endearingly diverse characters become entangled with forceful expositional dialogue, minor lapses in internal logic, and a faintly derivative concept which colour an otherwise enjoyable tale. The Stakeout. Two policemen conduct a stakeout. Oh, I understand the title now. Thanks to compelling character drama, arrest in dialogue, and masterfully subtle foreshadowing, this episode is an extremely memorable entry that acrobatically manoeuvres several affectionately represented genres. The final scene is perhaps slightly overindulgent, minimising some of the previous subtlety, though this is ultimately an understandable choice. With Series 5 concluded, we will begin Series 6 with the episode Wuthering Heist. In this metafictional episode, boisterous comedy and thrilling heist movie tropes are expertly and imaginatively communicated in a gripping tale that's minimised by occasional overbearing humour, obnoxious characters, and completely unexplained important events. Simon says, after an altercation, a fan arrives at a fantasy writer's home, an original and tantalising thriller which adeptly communicates the nuances of a valid argument ensues, and is blemished only by the extreme irrationality of certain characters' actions. Lip service. A man hires a lip reader to investigate his wife. This enormously engrossing narrative is enlivened by charming characters, performances, and enriching revelations, though one character feels noticeably more caricatured than the others. Hurry up and wait. A minor actor awaits the arrival of a more prominent star inside an unusual family's caravan. The episode keenly creates a disconcerting atmosphere, flavoured by character-driven humour, enthusiastic performances, and an alluring mystery, though unfortunately the final reveal leaves several major elements of the story unexplained. How do you plead? An elderly, unwell former solicitor converses with his carer in an episode that thoughtfully, dramatically deconstructs seemingly stereotypical characters, exhibits enormously committed performances, and explores the horror genre in a meaningful, immensely exciting manner. There are very minor fleeting lulls in momentum, though the episode is otherwise flawless. Last night of the proms. A family gathered to view a musical performance in a tale featuring a skilled cast and fitting music that attempts half-heartedly to combine entirely incompatible and underdeveloped ideas, while boasting juvenile humour and two-dimensional characters. And with the list officially concluded, we can begin the very unofficial episode ranking list. I don't know why I keep saying we, it is just me here. Because I have no friends. In 19th place is Last Night at the Proms, followed by Death Be Not Proud at number 18, and The Winner Is comes in at number 17, Thinking Out Loud comes in at number 16, with Wuthering Heights at 15, Love's Great Adventure at 14, To Have and To Hold at 13, Misdirection at 12, Lip Service at number 11, Hurry Up and Wait at number 10, Simon Says at number 9, The Referees Are at number 8, Once Removed at number 7, Deadline at number 6, Zanzibar at number 5, The Stakeout at number 4, How Do You Plead at number 3, Bernie Clifton's Dressing Room at number 2, and in the top spot, Tempting Fate. Ooh, didn't see that last one coming, did you? What I should have done is I should have revealed it would be number 1 earlier on, but then put something else in the first place, so then it'd be a twist like in the show. But I didn't think of it because I'm not very good at things. Well, you found out earlier not caring about football is my only talent. Fans of Inside No.9 willing to share their episode rankings for series 4 to 6, their episode rankings for the entire series, thoughts on specific episodes within series 4 to 6, thoughts on specific episodes within the entire series, thoughts on Psychoville, which I'm very tempted to make a video on in the future, thoughts on football, which I won't be able to provide any constructive response to, or indeed anything else vaguely number 9 or pop culture adjacent, is cordially invited to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and if I don't see you next time, I'll assume you've found a cursed talisman that grants wishes. We've all been there. It's almost time to say goodbye to Tyre and fare thee well. It's almost time to bring the curtain down. I'll say adieu to me, to you. So long it has been swell, but don't you cry the tears of a clown. If you're Going to cry, cry tears of laughter. A smile takes much less effort than a frown. So let's have one more joke and raise the rafters, 'cause laughter's the best medicine in town. Yes, if you're going to cry, cry tears of laughter. Your funny bone can never break in two. Misery might let you win a BAFTA, but laughter is my memory of you. Oh, emotional. Alright, am I at 18 minutes yet?